What's the easiest way to manage all these medications? Maybe you've got 3 pill bottles in your purse, 2 on the kitchen counter, 1 by the bed, and you're constantly wondering, did I give the morning dose? Or did I just think about giving it? If managing medications has become a daily stressor, stay with me. There's a better way, and it's simpler than you think. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through a few caregiver-friendly systems to manage meds with less stress, fewer mistakes, and more peace of mind. And you don't have to memorize every detail or keep all the info in your head. We're going to create some simple structures that keep everything clear, even on your most overwhelming day. I'm Dr. Anna Thomas. I'm a physician, TEDx speaker, and founder of Life Care Leadership. And I've seen this. Caregivers trying to manage complex medication routines without support, without tools, and often without any sleep. That's not safe. And that's why we're fixing it today. I created this podcast, The Age of Caregiving, to give caregivers like you the tools, the structure, and the support to lead care with clarity. Whether you're navigating a new diagnosis or juggling care on top of everything else, you're not alone. Please remember that everything I share here is for educational purposes only. Always consult with your healthcare provider for personal medical advice. If you've ever wondered, how much help do we really need? My free Care Needs Analysis training will give you the answer. It will walk you step by step through how to access care, match it to real support options, and avoid overdoing it all by yourself. You're going to find the link in the description below. Let's talk about why medication management feels so hard. Most people assume that medications are just a checklist. You read the bottle, you follow the directions. But when you're caregiving, medication can become a moving target. Doses can change, new symptoms show up, refills get delayed, and you, the caregiver, are somehow expected to keep track of all of it perfectly while juggling a dozen other responsibilities. The emotional load of caregiving makes even these small tasks feel massive. And it's not just the pills, it's the pressure. So instead of just managing meds, let's lead the system that supports them. Step 1, we want to create a master med sheet that actually works. Many caregivers don't realize this, but every medical visit, every ER trip, every care decision will get faster and safer when you have a single sheet that clearly lists the current medication list. Every medication name should be on there, whether it's generic or brand, what it's used for. And this is important because there are many reasons why certain medications are prescribed. And sometimes the medication is prescribed off of the typical use. It's really important that for any doctor, if they look at your med list, they understand the purpose of this medication, because the dosing and whether it can be held or continued will all be based on that information. So what is that medication for should be listed on there. The dosage, the frequency, time of day that it's given should also be listed. It's very helpful if you write down who prescribed it. What type of doctor? Are they a specialist? Is it your general practitioner? If there are any special notes about the medication, like do you take it with food? Do you hold it if they're sleepy? List that on there as well. I suggest that you keep this in a Google Doc or some sort of electronic document that you can update easily, and then keep a printout of that in a physical form near the medications, in the kitchen, a place where it's easy for you to grab when needed. You can also use apps like MediSafe, Care Clinic. There are a lot of apps out there, whatever is easiest for you, but you want to make sure that you have it in one central location that is easy for you to update. So make sure you print a copy and keep it in your care binder, in your bag, or in your car, next to your medications. And it's not just for doctors, it's also for you. It makes your mental load visible, and that makes it manageable. Step 2, you want to build a weekly routine for the pill box. You probably already have a pill box, an organizer, and that's great. But many caregivers can feel a little uncertain after setting it up. And that's because the real system is not in the box, it's in the routine. So here's a model, and I suggest that you pick one time each week to set up the meds for the next 7 days. So usually I recommend Sunday, you do it for the week ahead. Certain pill boxes will have days of the week on there, so you start on the first day of the week. When you're done filling the pill bottle, make sure that you double check that the medications are correct and they match with what you have on your medication list. So each day, each row should correspond with the medication that they are taking. Here's a verification tip. Say the names out loud while you're packing the doses. This will help build some memory cues and will help reduce errors. Then you want to have a simple checklist for daily doses. AM meds taken? Check. PM meds taken? Check. Any issues? So if the person who is taking these meds are experiencing any side effects, nausea, confusion, they couldn't take the dose for whatever reason, you want to have a place where you keep these records. Perhaps it's in a notebook, perhaps it's in a note app on your phone. The goal of this is not to impress anyone or inundate it with more and more data. It's just for you to be able to keep track of what happened, especially if a change happens over the next couple of days. You can look back and say, oh, okay, on Thursday, they missed these meds, or on Thursday, this happened and we weren't able to do X, Y, and Z. The third step that you want to take is you want to create a what-if plan. No one tells you this, but you need a plan for emergencies, not just everyday care. And what I mean here is this. What if you get sick? What if you can't be there for a day? What if you go to the ER and you don't have the information that you need? You can't remember the med list. Or what if something happens and you suspect a reaction? You want to make sure you write down things like the med list, yes, but also the pharmacy phone number, the doctor's lines, last refill dates, any known allergies or adverse reactions. And then that information, along with the medication list, should be stored in a central place that anyone in the family can access. Ideally, everyone can access it so that if they're the one that's accompanying your loved one to the ER, they can pull up that information even if you are not there. When you're doing these sorts of steps, this is leadership, not just for your loved one, but for yourself as well. It says, even if I can't be there, I have set us up to be safe. And here's a bonus tip. Ask these questions at every doctor visit. When meds are piling up, it's easy to lose track of why each one was started. So here are 3 powerful questions that you can ask. Is the medication still necessary? Sometimes we're managing the side effects of old meds that we still continue to take instead of solving the root problem. Second, are there any interactions I should know about? This is especially true if your loved one is starting on a new prescription, if they're taking supplements or over-the-counter meds. And all of those over-the-counter meds and supplements need to be on that medication list as well. That's the only way that your doctor is going to be even aware that you're taking those medications if they're on that list. The third question to ask is, what is the purpose and the end goal of this medication? When you're asking this question, you're not being difficult. Every med should have a purpose, and you need to know and understand what it is, because you might have to answer questions about the medication if you go to the ER or if another doctor asks you. You need to understand what the purpose of that medication is. Remember, medication safety can be a huge area of stress. And if you found this video to be helpful, you're going to love my free care needs analysis training video. It helps you figure out how many hours of help you truly need and what kind of support matches your situation, especially with medical complexity. The link is in the description below. It is totally free. Go ahead and sign up. You don't have to have a medical degree or a pharmacy background to do all of these changes that we talked about today. And here you are. You're showing up every day, trying to manage someone's entire health plan with barely a moment to breathe. I want to make sure you give yourself credit. Every time you double check a label, every time you call the doctor, every time you ask a difficult question, you're protecting someone who might not be able to protect themselves, and that matters more than anyone knows. If this helped, your next video to watch is, what can I do when dementia symptoms get worse at night? Because when medications and behavior overlap, nighttime can be the most stressful part of the day. Remember, you are more than just a giver of care. You are a leader of care. This is the Age of Caregiving, and together we can lead it with strength, courage, and compassion.